Hi everybody, this is Kevin and welcome back to another video. And today, I would like to share my thoughts on The Legend of Heroes Trails into Reverie, which I just beat this game about an hour ago. And I've been sitting here, after I wiped away the tears of course, sitting here just thinking about how I'm even going to go about this video because, you know, I've done, I don't know, close to 20 videos on the Trails series now. You can check out the Trails videos playlist if you haven't already. And what haven't I said about this series? Everything I've said in the previous videos applies to Trails into Reverie tenfold. I mean, this game is an absolute masterpiece. It even eclipsed my expectations. Like, I had high expectations going into this game, and it was even better than that. And like, oh my god, at the end, man, I'm just sitting there, what am I even going to do with myself, man? For the past year, in April of 2023, I started Trails in the Sky first chapter. A year later, I finished the 10th game, and mind you, I still have the post game to finish up, which I don't know how long that's going to take, maybe another couple weeks, so I still have that. And then, of course, Kuro no Kiseki 1, Trails Through Daybreak, is coming out in July. So there's still more games on the horizon, but it's like no other game is going to compare to this. Like, and I can even set low expectations. There's nothing that's going to come close to this. Like, this is the pinnacle. And I just sort of hit that realization, and I'm just reflecting on it, like, man, I'm going to replay this entire series is what I'm going to have to do, because nothing's going to compare to it. But anyway, as far as this video goes, we're going to try to keep it spoiler-free in the beginning, and then I'll have a timestamp in the description, and of course I'll let you know in the video when I go into spoilers, because there's a bit I need to say there, and this image that you're looking at is actually one of the official artworks that after you beat the game, you unlock all the official artworks, and there's the ones from the credits, which all the Trails games sort of have the art throughout the credits. I want to go through that in more detail and talk about it, but obviously, that's full of spoilers, so we're going to say that for later. And I'm not going to tell you who C is until the spoiler section. For those who are still trying to avoid that, you want to experience that for yourself, which I'm happy I didn't get spoiled on until I saw in the game. What an epic reveal. But anyway, for any new viewer who is somehow stumbling upon this video saying, oh, the Trails series sounds great, I really want to get into it, do not start with Trails into Reverie. As much as I just gushed about it, you have to understand, this is the 10th game in the series. And this sort of wraps things up in a certain sense for everything that came up before it, the 9 prior games, but it also sets things up for the future games. So, in my opinion, the only proper way to play these games is to play Sky First Chapter, the whole Sky Trilogy, Zero, Azure, Cold Steel 1, 2, 3, 4, and then Reverie. But if for some reason, which I've heard this excuse of quite a number of times, I can't play the Sky Trilogy because it's on PC. Well, you're missing out, but if that's what you want to do, then I guess you can still enjoy yourself by playing Zero, Azure, and the Cold Steel games. But you got to play all of them before Reverie because, you know, you're not going to know who these people are. You're not going to have any idea who these characters are. And can we just talk about this beautiful artwork, man? So you have all the characters in sort of like their original outfits. Like, look at the special support section, man. You got Lloyd with the yellow undershirt, which in the later games he has the red undershirt, which is homage to Guy Bannings, man. Guy Bannings, the legend. And then Tio in her original outfit. You know, Ellie's outfit, it changes a little in Cold Steel 4 and Reverie, but it's still relatively the same. And same thing with Randy, although he gets the Branch Campus outfit. And Wazzy, yeah, I don't think Wazzy had that outfit on in Azure once he turned into the Gralsritter Dominion Wazzy. But you have that. You have Estelle and Joshua and their outfits from Sky's second chapter. You have New Class 7, which I just love. You have, look at how happy Yuna is holding Kurt's hand. Muse being Muse. Ash just like, oh, these fools. What am I doing with them? That wild filly. And then Reen with his precious daughter and his wife. And then, of course, Crow. And then Swin and Nadia. Beautiful, beautiful artwork. But yeah, Trails into Reverie. I mean, just incredible, man. So, it's just, like, I can't even really talk about the story. It's just, because, well, I'll have to spoil a little Cold Steel 4. It's after Cold Steel 4, you know, once and for all. Which in the credits of Cold Steel 4, they said, the special support section went back to Crossbell, liberated it once and for all. The prologue of Reverie is that liberation. They liberated Crossbell, and, then a month or so later, because that was in February, and then the game takes place, I think, starts March 15th. It's only a span of a couple of days. It's from March 15th to March 22nd, and all hell breaks loose, and our heroes have to band together and save the world one last time. Or maybe not, because of course the future games. But I think a lot of people had criticism of Cold Steel 4 because of how many characters there were, which is funny to say that. And mind you, I had no problem with Cold Steel 4's characters. I thought it was great. I loved customizing, using as many different party combinations as I could. And what Cold Steel 4 always did was, anytime a story segment came up, it would say, okay, these 3 characters are mandatory in the party, and then you can bring whoever else you want in the support spot or whatever. But that way everyone got to have their story arc, which was great. And with Reverie, there's even more characters than Cold Steel 4, but they break things up with the 3 different routes, the different story paths, where, of course, you have Reen Schwarzer, Lloyd Bannings, and C. And they all start in different areas. Of course, Lloyd's in Crossbell, Reen's in Erebonia, and C, he's going around lurking in the shadows. And in the end, all their paths converge, and it's so cool to see different perspectives from the characters, because, you'll see the crazy stuff's going on in Crossbell, and then it goes to Reen, and then they get the phone call, oh no, Crossbell, and then Yuna's all upset. So it's so cool to see their perspectives, and of course all our characters converge in the end, and they're able to once again give each character a meaningful arc in that way. And I really like how each route sort of started in a sort of slice of life fashion, which Trails has always been known for that, where you sort of have this calm before the storm, and then all hell breaks loose. And I really enjoyed those. There's no bonding events in this game as there were in the other Trails games, especially the Cold Steel games, but you still have those slice of life moments. And another thing they added in this game is what's known as the Reverie Corridor, which is basically the way you do mini games and other side activities, and also a way to level grind and get better gear. And I clocked in, I think, 135 hours of this game, and I'd say more than half of that was the Reverie Corridor, because not only can you do the level grinding, and you can customize all your party members, that's where you get the chance for Reen and Lloyd to team up, and Reen and C to team up, and that whole thing. But you also have access to the Daydreams, which is going back to Sky the Third. This game, in a lot of ways, is similar to Sky the Third in that it's the end of a particular arc, but it also sets up a lot of things. And those Daydreams give you more context to other characters, some even minor characters. Dude, I was blown away. There was this one Daydream that revolved around Marcus Ballard and Jingo. They're pretty important. They're important side characters, you know what I mean? But there's a whole Daydream that involves around them, and it ended up being one of my favorites, man. It's just shocking how they can make a character like Marcus Ballard, who in a lot of ways is similar to Duke Danon from the Sky Trilogy, who you don't really hate. You kind of hate him, I guess. He's kind of a nuisance, but he grows on you, and you're like, dude, this guy's not bad. He's actually pretty cool. And Jingo, I love her interactions with her mother, Ashley. Such good stuff. I'll never forget in Trails to Azure when Wald was attacking the downtown district, and you had Amos show up Wazzy has authorized me to use whatever force necessary to stop you, and then Ashley shows up this giant ass bazooka, I'm gonna defend the downtown district. Quit raising a racket, will ya? So good, man. So they do that. There's another Daydream with of all people, Freddy from the branch campus, where you can control him and use him in battle and stuff. It's dude, Freddy! And he one-shots all the enemies. If only Freddy joined the party. But you get cool stuff like that. There's also mini games. There's Magical Girl Elisa, which is a fun little shooter mini game. There's some trivia, which again, back to Sky the Third. There was Campanella's trivia in Sky the Third. There's the beach mini game, which I still haven't done all that. There's the intimate moments. The only intimate moment I've done was Emma, which for obvious reasons. But I gotta go back and play through them all. And you unlock like the swimsuits for all the characters and do some fun mini games there. I actually bought the SSS DLC for the beach mini game because how could I not, man? How could I not? So yeah, going through the Reverie corridor, you get like all the outfits. Like you get Reen's outfit from Cold Steel 2, right? The red jacket, so cool. And also you can unlock, so all the characters you get in the main story, of course, join you in the Reverie corridor. But you get these sealing stones, again, similar to Sky the Third, where you get the sealing stones. And I always remember the first character you got in Sky the Third was Tita, which, you know, you never really expected her to be. You'd think like, oh, maybe Estelle will be the first character. No, it's Tita. But with them, you unlock characters who don't join you in the main story. Like, well, Angelica, you know, she appears in the main story, but she's not as important as she was in the other games, and you'll get her in the Gold Stealing Stone, and then like other characters you wouldn't really expect, which is pretty cool. So yeah, what more can I say? I love the game. I kind of want to talk about spoilers now, so this is my spoiler-free section. Absolutely love the game. I am just overwhelmed with so many emotions, seeing it through to the end. Although still knowing there's more to do in the post game, which I can't wait to do that. I'm gonna, finish this video up, get it all ready to upload, and start the post game tomorrow probably. So look forward to that. And yeah, so this is your spoiler section, guys. So if you haven't played the game, click away. Otherwise, knock yourself out. So let me look at some more of these images here. We're gonna have to talk about C, of course. I just love these, and Zeit coming back, man. I couldn't believe it. It's so cool to get the voice actors too, with English voice acting for some of these characters, because of course, like we've got English voice acting for Lloyd and Cold Steel 2, and then Cold Steel 4, of course, the main SSS. But like Noelle, we never heard her English voice, and we have her now in Reverie. She did a great job. Same thing with Wazzy. Like Wazzy's English voice actor, perfect casting, man. Oh, the round of 7. Look at, I love this. This is a line from Laura, I believe in Cold Steel 4, where she's like, we need to stop differentiating from old Class 7 and new Class 7. We're all Class 7, and that's right, man. Look at Class 7. Look at Celine. And look at Reen. That's Osborne's S-Craft, cut in there. That's the same pose Osborne did. Reen's father. So keto, man. So keto. But yeah, I love the placement of the characters too. We got Elisa and Altina right there. It looks like new Class 7's on the right side though, along with Crow. Which, yeah, great stuff, man. Instructor Sarah. Dude, and they changed, like, with the S-Craft, they're all relatively the same. But they changed the voice acting for some of the lines. And Kurt's is called Gemini Judgment. And remember, Muir, which I'm still kind of annoyed Muir was never a playable character in any of these games. They sort of teased it at the beginning of Reverie when you were going through, when he went to the Nord Highlands, but he's like, no, I gotta do business elsewhere, so he never joined the party. But Kurt's S-Craft is called Gemini Judgment, and he's like, my soul and swords are as one, which is the same thing that Muir says. My sword and soul are as one. Righteous witness. It's so good. It's so good. And Sarah, so this isn't her S-Craft, but when she wins, if she's like the victor in battle, the last attacker, she says something like, that's what you get for messing with this hottie. And Olivier, there's an instance where you control Olivier in the main story, and he says, nighty-night, kitty cats, which is what he said in the Sky trilogy. Nighty-night, kitty cats. What a fucking legend, man. Sorry about that. I hit something by mistake, but let's check out this one. Sinners Dancing with the Doll. Oh, man, our boy C. So this is why I didn't want to go into all the illustrations, because if you go a little bit too far, it reveals, it takes the mask off, and C is Rufus Alborea. I was shocked. I had no idea C was going to be Rufus Alborea. I predicted, you can go back to was it my initial thoughts video? I think that's what it was, because I did one talk about just the Reverie corridor. But I thought it was going to be Cedric, because of the court fencing, and has Cedric which, man, his daydream was epic too. Going against the Red Constellation, so cool. I can't wait to see more of Cedric. Now, Enforcer number 19 of Ouroboros. But, yeah, Rufus was C. And, you know, at the end of Cold Steel 4, I actually started to warm up to Rufus and say, you know, this guy isn't so bad. He had his reasons for doing what he was doing. He thought he had a righteous cause. And now that all this chaos erupted, where you had the Supreme Leader, Rufus Albarella, the imposter, and he wanted to set things right and free the plague surrounding Crossbell and you know, let it become its own independent state. And now the thing with Rufus is he wants to do everything alone, but through his journey, the miserable sinners, his unlikely band of heroes who joined him, Swin and Nadia, Lapis Rosenberg, Ren Bright, Duvalie the Swift. Duvalie the Swift. What an epic scene when Duvalie shows up. She's fighting all these Ebon defense forces all by herself. There's like 20 of them. She's just like, just killing them all. And then Rufus shows up. Rufus Albarella! How dare you show your face in front of me? What you did to my lord. And there's the battle between Rufus and Duvalie. But Rufus, being the little snake that he always is, used an art at the last minute. It was almost a draw in their battle. And then he used an art and defeated Duvalie. And she's like, alright, I'll join you for your cause, and we'll see it through to the end. I'm keeping my eye on you, Rufus. I love when like you do the link attacks and stuff. If you do the one with Rufus and you have Duvalie linked with him, he's like, come with me, Duvalie. Don't you order me around. It's so cute, man. It's so cute. I love it. But yeah, Rufus, this dude, it's hard for me to even pick a favorite character in these games. For the longest time, honestly, it's been Lloyd Banning. It is Lloyd Banning. It's in the end, it's Lloyd Banning. She's my favorite of all the protagonists. I just love, you know, there's a line at the end of the game of Ishmael Gareen where he's like, a mere police officer. That's right. The mere police officer shows us that even the most insignificant with no crazy powers like Reen, who can do spirit unification and all this stuff, a mere police officer can seize the truth, get over the barrier, and stand up again and again. That's right, baby. But after seeing Rufus's story, he's great, man. I absolutely love him. And I can't wait to see what happens next with him, because as the game ends, it's like, okay, Lapis is going on a journey. The Supreme Leader, Rufus Albarella, died in the tower. So who's this man in bed? The world may never know. So what's his journey gonna be? I can't wait, man. And Swin and Nadia, it definitely helps to read the 3 and 9 novel before playing this game to really appreciate these characters. And when I saw Ace on the screen, Ace! There's an image of Ace at some point. I can't let you down, Ace. Oh, man, it's so good. And there's people out there who play this game who don't even know who Ace is. Can you believe that? Oh, it's true. Oh, man, the special support section. Look at them all. Randy, Tio, Ellie, Lloyd, Kia, and Zeit. Look at them. And exploring Crossbell again is just, dude, early on there's a scene where you run into the Hayworths. Harold, Sophia, and Colin, and they talk about how they had lunch with Ren, and they said Ren's gonna bring her family next time, the Brights. And Colin, I don't think Colin knows who Ren is. He just knows that she's the young girl who saved him back in Trails from Zero. But I really do believe Harold and Sophia know who Ren is, that they're Rennie, but she's Ren Bright now. Beautiful. Oh my god, look at Toa! Oh. I like to refer to these guys as Class 6, because if you remember, they had Class 1 through 5 at the Thor's main campus, and then of course Class 7, but the lore behind the 4 of these characters is that they were the ones who used the Arcus units in the beginning to form links with each other. And honestly, I know everyone loves Toa and Crow, and I do too. They're great characters. But Angelica and George are honestly some of the most underrated characters in the entire series. And the hate for Angelica is so ridiculous. Like, I honestly believe someone went out there, whoever the big Trails YouTuber or advocate is, said, we must hate Angelica. She's a sexual predator and this and that, a lesbian. Like, shut the fuck up. Did you not play the game? Angelica is such a great character. Those moments are honestly funny in my opinion. But not even that. She's so loyal to her friends, to Toa, to Crow. In Cold Steel 4, George is going to kill himself, and she stops him from killing himself. If that's not a true friend, I don't know what is. And these characters, such great chemistry between them. The slander of Angelica just honestly pisses me off. And it screams to me people have no intellectual thought of their own. They're just, I heard this, so I gotta hate her. But the chemistry between them, incredible. Crow, the best bro. Toa, who she may be the smallest girl, but she has the biggest heart. And of course, George, who's atoned for his sins now. What an excellent cast of characters there. Successors to the A-Leaves, dude, look at this. Look at this. So up at the very top, I think you can just see his back. That's Master Ka-Fi, okay? Master Ka-Fi. You have Cassius Bright. You have Annalise. Look at her. She's invincible. And seeing this image right here, we're going to see Annalise and Richard. We're going to see them again soon. I just know it, man. We have to. We have to, because they gave Annalise a new outfit there. And that was at the end of Cold Steel 4 when the Bracer Guild reopened. And, of course, Arios and Reen. And, man, how can we not do? In Cold Steel 4, there was that moment, too, when Duvali was talking about the 8-Leaf style. And Reen mentioned Master Ka-Fi's granddaughter, who's Annalise, of course. And Duvali was interested. Can you imagine Duvali working with Annalise in a future game? I'd love to see it, man. I'd love to see it. And the fact that we have artwork, too, of Richard and Annalise is like, man, they're cooking something good, man. We're going to see these guys soon. I just know it. And, of course, because they're playable characters in, well, Richard was only a playable character in Sky the Third, but Annalise was a playable character in Sky's second chapter and the third. And this made me so happy to see this, man. I love it. There's Swin and Nadia. Beautiful. What a great relationship they have. When they got separated in the tower, you saw how much they care for each other. Beautiful relationship. I love these two. Some more of my favorite characters. Over the Darkest Hour, there's Ishmelga Reed, which this game made it that both endings of Cold Steel 4 are essentially canon. Well, you can say it's the normal ending, the bad ending, where Reen goes up and he takes Ishmelga, who's been absorbed in Valmore, into the atmosphere, and then Crow and Milliam go with him, and the three of them die. Although I guess not really if Ishmelga Reen's here. And then, of course, the true good ending, where we go to Oliver's wedding and all that. But Ishmelga Reen, what an interesting character. And he had something to say after the internal struggle was over. And then Lloyd, Eustace, Zeit, Lapis, Swin, and Nadia went back to the tower to rescue Rufus. They ran into Ishmelga Reen, who turned back to normal Reen. And he was saying, you know, how happy he was to see everybody. But he also said, because of all Elysium's predictions, he saw something that's going to happen in 3 years. And Lloyd was like, no, dude, don't tell me. Because we've overcome everything before, we can overcome this again. And my theory for that, 3 years, which this game takes place, I believe, in the year 1207. I could be, it's either 1206 or 1207. I think it's 1207, right? Now, after this game, we have Kodo no Kiseki 1 and 2, Trails Through Daybreak, and then Kai no Kiseki. Most games haven't been like a whole year gap. It's either like 6 months or immediately afterward or whatever. I haven't played any of them. But man, doesn't that line up quite well where 3 years is Kai no Kiseki? just a thought. And like, I don't know anything about it other than the name and like little things, snippets I've heard. Like, you know, I heard there was an interview with Kondo and he said it's 90% of the story. It's called Kai no Kiseki Farewell Ozumiria. If Ishmelga Reen's ominous warning about 3 years in the future isn't that, I'd be surprised. So just an interesting note there. Cross Fates. Dude, this is the reversible cover. The main cover of the game is the Grand Master which I didn't see the Grandmaster of this game at all, which I'm assuming, again, I'm recording this before starting the post-game. I'm assuming we're probably going to see the Grandmaster in the post-game. But man... yeah, as far as Ouroboros goes, we really only saw Novart. Well, we saw McBurn. Well, the fake McBurn. And Novartis. And he's a pain in the ass, that guy. Professor Novartis. You know, Falcom has done a great job at these games of writing some villains that have redemption arcs. Like Dieter Croyce and Ian Grimwood. Ian Grimwood, another really underrated character, I feel. Which, you know, people, I think... don't like him because the twist sort of comes out of left field in Azure, but if you do all the side quests of Nielsen, the twist really isn't that far out there, and Grimwood has an excellent redemption arc in this game, as does Dieter Croyce. Dieter Croyce also just wanted Crossbelt to succeed as an independent state, but he went about it the wrong way, and of course was manipulated by his daughter, so I can't even fault Dieter Croyce either. But yeah, this is the reversible artwork on the game. If you don't care to see the Grandmaster, you can flip it around and see this, and we see all our heroes. I love it, man. Oh, they don't do one with C taking his mask off? And that's the regular cover. Yeah, I haven't seen the Grandmaster, so I guess that's going to be in the post-game, which I will be starting soon. And I'll let you know, because I'm going to do another video, obviously. So it'll be interesting to see what she has to say if we do see her. Why would you put her on? Like, imagine the people, because I bet you a lot of people didn't play, well, they played Cold Steel 4, but you got to go and reload the save to see the bonus scene with the Grandmaster in Cold Steel 4, and you see her talking to Campanella, Maribel, and the first Anguis, who might be Nielsen. I think it's Nielsen, but who knows? And you see this image, you see this on the cover of the game, you're like, who the hell is this bitch? Well, that's the Grandmaster. So let's take a look at this. These are all the credit images. Beautiful. I love the artwork here. It's so good. And these images tell stories in and of themselves. Sorry, taking a sip of water. But with this one, like, you have Dudley and Machias. And there's that one daydream of Dudley and Machias where they run into Minith and the old lady from Calvert, which were from the side quests in Zero and Azure. And man, the missed opportunity not making Dudley a playable character, at least in the Reverie corridor. At least for like one boss fight. Like, I mean, we made Cedric a playable character. Could we make Dudley a playable character just for that one instance? So he can do Justice Hammer, rip off his jacket, and instead of using his gun, just punch him? What a legend. And then Lloyd wave it to his wife, Ellie. And Nurse Cecile, the best sister. Look at her. Beautiful. Oh, man, look at this. Randy did it. He proposed to Murray. Oh, I'm so happy for him. I'm so happy. Look at Wazzy. And look at, why are Noelle and Fran blushing so much? Noelle's probably jealous. She's like, how come Lloyd didn't propose to me? What's going on? But yeah, that was another side story where Murray was protecting the people of Mines Mining Village. And she was injured, and she was shot, actually. And she was in bed, and Randy was just breaking down. And it was a very similar moment to Trails to Azure, and Lloyd had to talk some sense into him. And that's when Noelle and Machias and Toa showed up and encouraged him, and just such great stuff like that. And that's the other thing, too. Like, the characters who join you on your journey. So, in the very beginning, like, once everyone gets separated with the special support section, it's Lloyd and Risha. And they're on their way. They gotta, alright, what are we gonna do? And then the next character who shows up is freaking Lecter. Of all people, Lecter shows up and helps us. And then we find Ellie. And then later on, we run into some other characters. Well, no, actually, it wasn't them. It was, Wazzy. Yeah, Wazzy shows up. And then Agate and Tita, Elisa and Sharon, Machias and Toa. Like, all these unlikely characters show up to help us, and it's just so cool. And especially with Rufus's route, with the miserable sinners, of course, starting with himself, and then Swin and Nadia, and Lapis, and then Ren, Duvalie, Arios McLean, man, Arios McLean, incredible. Oh, there's New Class 7. What is Muse scheming? and Toa, which, yeah, so of course Randy's going back, and oh, mute what she's scheming, she's getting Kurt to dress up again. That was the Saint Astraea's daydream where Kurt had to dress up like a girl, reminiscent of Joshua from the Sky Games. Kurtina, which they had Emma's voice actor voice Kurt for that scene as Kurtina. It was so cute. But yeah, as far as the branch campus goes, because Randy is going back to the SSS, and Major Irving was leaving, and he had his sister show up and start working at the branch campus, and then Toa was appointed the head instructor. So just beautiful stuff, man. So yeah, there's Kurtina, and Elliot and Crow are there too. And Yuna, of course. What are they doing, man? Look at Crow. Oh my God, Jubilee! Look at her with a fruit basket for Rufus. Yeah, Rufus in the hospital. Everyone coming to see him. I love too. So Rufus was gonna take the blame for everything again and sacrifice himself in the tower so that everyone can live in peace. And Lapis was like, I gotta go. We gotta go save him. And the first one to stand up is Lloyd Bannings. Consider your request accepted. And then Eustace stands up. Well, actually, no, it wasn't. The order was Lloyd, and then Zeit was like, okay, I'm the Holy Beast. I'll teleport you there. And then Eustace, I'm his brother. I must go as well. And then Swin and Nadia, he still hasn't paid us, especially for all the overtime we've done. And they all go and rescue him. And Lloyd Banning says, you know, you're under arrest for all your crimes and felonies and this and that. But your biggest crime of all was not realizing how loved you truly are. And that's it, man. Rufus is loved by everybody. Even Jubilee. Where you see this. Oh, it's just great, man. Jubilee. Oh. I'm getting emotional talking about it again. Oh, it's Arkansas! They're all back together! Yeah, of course, Ilya recovered. She was a bad guy for a while in this game as the Duskin Dancer, but recovered. And is performing once again with Risha, Sully, there's San. There's Nadia, which that was the first daydream, where Nadia and Swin show up. And then Risha realizes that, you know, they're assassins, but they come to an understanding that, you know, we may have been assassins in the past, but we have a new life now, and I'm glad you could be my friend, RX. Because Nadia has all those funny nicknames. But, oh, they're just so beautiful, too, man. Look at them. The Mishi Squad! Dude, look at them all! We have Mishi in the center. We have Mishi's biggest fan, Tio, Jingo, Kia, Shizuku. And even Ario's putting his hand up, cheering with Mishi. Let's dance and make a wishy with Mishi. Oh, man. And not even that. You can see in the background. There's Estelle and Joshua getting ice cream. Which, that was homage to Sky First Chapter. Remember the last time Estelle and Joshua had ice cream? Shit hit the fan with Weissman and Ouroboros and all that crazy stuff. But now in Reverie, they're finally having ice cream in peace. There was that cute scene when Joshua had ice cream on his face, and Estelle like took her finger and took it off him and licked it. Oh my God, so cute. And then Sergey and Sonia right next to each other. I love this so much, man. I love this. Because throughout the game too, Arios was talking about that's why he was part of the Miserable Sinners route with Rufus and Crow. Is because he's done so many sins in his past, but now he's finally atoned, and he's spending quality time with his daughter, and just loving life, man. And I love all these characters, and the daydream I talked about earlier of Jingo and Marcus Ballad. Jingo got her hands on the gold Mishi, and then ended up giving it to Tio, which is how she got the Argo, the airship. And oh, it's beautiful, man. What a beautiful piece of art. There's Class 7. This is kind of an interesting one because it's like, it's not the whole group. And I wonder why they picked the characters. I was going to say it's all the girls and Reen. It's Reen's harem, but then Gaius is there too. But it's still a beautiful picture nonetheless. Reen and Elisa, Laura, Emma, Altina, Fee, Instructor Sarah, and Gaius. But I'm just curious why they chose those characters, because we saw other images where it's got like the whole group. So I don't know, but it's still nice to look at. I don't really have much to say about it there. I will say, since we're on the topic of Gaius, I guess it was nice to go back to the Nord Highlands. That was cool. A tea party! Look at Granny Rose having tea, which there was quite a number of grandmother moments, and Emma's daydream, where you learn about her mother and how her mother died in battle fighting against the previous incarnation of Alberic. Oh, incredible, man. That made me cry, too. I cried so many times while playing this game, mainly during the ending, but there was a lot of the moments, like, you are who you are. Anytime Raindrops in the Wind started playing, I was, like, getting choked up. And I cried during Emma's daydream and learning about Emma's mother and just seeing that whole thing. And there's Ren, of course, we know her with tea parties, and Tito with her best friend, and Lapis eating a cookie. And look at Celine! Does Celine want a cookie too, I guess? Oh, Celine. The special support section. There they are, man. Ellie, Randy, Tio, Kia, and Lloyd. New Class 7, man. Altina, Ash, Kurt, Reen, Yuna, and Muse. The best instructor of his students. The Imperial Picnicking Front. Look how happy they are. Even Rufus has a smile in the back there. I love these guys, man. Of all the routes, and I love this entire game, but honestly, the most fun was definitely Rufus and his route, and just the wacky hijinks. And I talked about like the slice of life stuff earlier. I didn't really talk about Rufus because of spoilers, obviously, but there was even slice of life stuff there too, where Rufus was like, you know, are any of you guys good at espionage? and Lapis says, what the hell does that even mean? And so Swin's like, all right, I'll help you out, C. At that point, you only know him as C. And then you control Nadia and Lapis and explore Heimdall and enjoy all these sweets. And you can run into Partiri, who's like, what are you kids doing down here? You know, you guys know some blockhead who wears glasses? That damn Machias. What a great shot. And there's the Argo in the background. That's Jingo's ship. Although, I don't think that's Jingo, because if you look closely, there's blue hair. That's Josette then. Huh. Oh, maybe this is the end. That's what it is. This is the end. And they got Josette to take them somewhere. This is their new adventure. Holy crap, I just realized that now. Oh, there's, well, the two homunculus and the Rosenberg doll. And that's the end there. So what are we at? We're almost at 40 minutes. I should go through the hot shot too, because I gotta say, okay, maybe I don't know how consistent I've been on this, but I said for a while, Fee is my favorite girl. And, you know, Fee is honestly still up there for me, but playing more of the game, I gotta say Emma is my favorite now. Like Emma has really grown on me, which is really cool to see, because honestly in Cold Steel 1, she's a bit of a mysterious character. And also a bit in Cold Steel 2, although you get some more revelations of her. But as you get into Cold Steel 3 and 4, especially the bonding events of Reen, I honestly think Emma is the best fit romantically for Reen. And seeing more of her backstory of her mother there, and how at the end, she says she's going to go on a journey as a wandering witch. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Emma in the future games. You know, to check in, and her role being like checking the Septarions, because at this point, how many have we seen? We've seen 4 Septarions, and what are there, 7? So we've seen the Ariel, which is space. It's interesting they did like the higher elements first, didn't they? So they did space, then they did the Septarion of Mirage, that's Demigoras, right, from Azure. And then Fire and Earth, Arc Rouge and Lost Zem. So what are we missing? The Septarion of Time. That'll be a doozy. Time travel shenanigans, I'm sure. Which I guess there should have been time travel shenanigans already with Kia. Alright, so we have Time. We have Water. We have Wind. Interesting, Wind doesn't have to do the Nord Highlands, but... Very, very interesting. Alright, let's go through Hot Shot. Brace yourself for some of these. Let's talk about Ellie, man. Ellie might be the most underrated of all the girls. Look at her. She's just, look how beautiful she is, man. Like, you don't really hear many people talk about Ellie. It's always, oh, Risha, which I understand. Risha is hot as hell. But can we acknowledge that Ellie is obviously Lloyd's wife? That's her wedding gown right there. Oh my god. Falcon was cooking with this artwork. There's Elisa, head of the Rhineford group. Where's Sharon? You would think Sharon would be right in the corner serving tea or something, but, well, Elisa's a busy lady. There's Yuna playing tennis. Alright, you guys ready for this? This did not factor into my new ranking of best girl, but god damn, we have Emma and Celine, two best girls, might I add. Celine is best girl material as well. That's her swimsuit you get from the beach minigame. There's William and Altina, the little bunnies. There's, oh, that's not music, that's Lady Mildine. The game's lying to us. There's Lloyd with Cope, the cat. Oh, there was a sweet scene where it was Zeit, Cope, Cerberus, and Zio. And Zeit was hanging out with all his furry friends. Oh, look at Randy. Uh-oh, is he going to the casino? I think that's the casino in the background. Noelle? Like, dude, Noelle's looking hot as hell even in her default attire. We had Ellie in a sexy dress, Emma in her bikini, and Noelle's like, look at that. I'm wearing my booty shorts. Oh, that was early in the game when Rex saw her, and he's like, oh, look at those booty shorts. Can I get a quick picture? And she's like, no, I wear these for comfort. Oh, sure. And then Ren. So man, all right, we've gone. Hey, I wanted to keep it for like 30 minutes, so we went long enough, I suppose. What a beautiful game, an unforgettable experience. I'm so glad I recorded this video now, and I will be continuing in the Reverie corridor post game. You know, I did those really long videos with I did over hour-long videos with the Sky games with Zero. Azure, that was like a 3-hour-long video. 3-hour-long video for Cold Steel 1 and 2. And I never did that for Cold Steel 3 and 4. And I don't think I can. So I'm not going to do it for Reverie. I will do a video after I beat the post game. And maybe I'll do some more videos like talking about the daydreams. I can sort of just go through this and go through the images and talk about the daydreams. Because there's just a lot to talk about. So if I missed anything, please leave a comment. I'll respond to your comment, anything I missed. Or maybe even do another video talking about it. But I feel like I covered most things. I love this game. I love all the characters. So yeah, I don't even really know how to end this video. I've gone on almost 45 minutes. And said quite a bit, but I'm sure I missed some things. So if anyone has any other questions or comments, please leave it down below. I'll get to it. And I'm going to end up doing some more videos on Trails into Reverie, going through the post-game and the whole 9 yards. So, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And yeah, I will be continuing the Reverie corridor. And then after that, I don't know. I've joked saying that I'm going to replay this entire series. And I'm being kind of serious about that. Like, where am I going to go from here? I feel like any game I play after this is not going to be as good. I really do. Like, where do I even go from here? I have so many games in my backlog, so many games I still want to play, but I don't know if I'm ever going to get the emotional attachment I've gotten to that I have in this game, in this series, with anything else. So, I don't know, it's just some more random thoughts, and who the hell knows? Who's even watched this far is the question. So, let's end it now before I go even further. Thank you guys so much. Have a great day. We'll talk to you later, and peace out.
That's what you get for messing with this hottie.
Nighty-night, kitty cats. Nighty-night.